안녕하세요. 저는 좋습니다. 감사합니다. Twice, knock knock. I'm so very excited for the upcoming tour. That's going to be probably the high. You know what I mean? Like if I make it to the tour and I see them live, pretty much whatever happens after that, who cares, right? Really. Unless it's seeing them again sometime, right? That'll be the only thing that really tops it. But I'm trying to get through some of the A sides, some things that might be heard on the tour, maybe even things that might pop up as encore possibilities, something like that, you know. And just to knock out some more of the songs so I can steadily work through the discography. Of course, you know, by the time I get to the concert, it'll just be time to go to the show, man. So we'll get through what we can. But I just did TT, and Knock Knock seems like the next one that I should do. It feels that way. And so I wanted to check this one out. This is Knock Knock.
시가 되면 닥쳐요 조금만 서둘러줄래요 난난난난 knock on my door 난난난난 knock on my door 밤이 되면 내 맘속에 주린 문이 열리죠 누군가 필요해 Someone else 자꾸자꾸 상상이래 몰래 몰래 훔쳐보네 난난난난 knock on my door 난난난난 knock on my door 원하면 해도 playboy 또 원하면 난 bad boy 확신이 필요해 knock knock 진심이면 everything's gonna be okay 어떻게 벌써 왔나봐 잠시만 기다려줄래요 혼자 있을 때 훅 들어와 정신없이 날 흔들어놔 지금이 딱 널 위한 showtime Making your same day 울리면 매일 찾아와 줄래 찾아와 줄래 그냥 돌다간 잠들어버릴걸 이 시간이 지나면 굳어있던 내 마음이 내 마음이 아이스크림처럼 녹아버릴 테니까 Come knock on my door 내 맘이야 네게 두드려줘 다시 한번 Baby 난난난 knock on my door 난난난 쉽게 열리지는 않을 거야 내일도 모레도 다시 와줘 준비하고 기다릴게 Baby 난난난 knock on my door 난난난 하루가 듣고 싶은 걸
Ah, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I said at the end of TT, I said, who's knocking, right? Like, I wonder who's knocking. So that was a very cool tie-in there. So the house that was in the TT video was that house. And, well, that makes sense. Yeah, because in other words, they're like ghosts in the TT video. There was actually some like the some visual sort of concepts that were going on. This video in the intro sequences and up until I guess about the bridge, right? It has that different frame rate that's going on with those shots that have the color backdrops, and so that has that kind of choppy, like quick, stuttery type of motion to it, right? And I was gonna say they had a little bit of that in the TT video also, so visually there's a connection there. It also reminds me of what was it? I think it's they did similar stuff in like Red Velvet, like Dum Dum, I think it was. Probably a couple of the other videos too. But that style of shooting there, the video, right? That visual style, a bit of a conceptual connection too between TT and Knock Knock. Then. And then when it gets to the bridge part, you know, it kind of leaves that visual style behind, and the shots are much more like a higher frame rate, much more like a cleaner kind of resolution to them, you know, because they have a lot of those like dolly shots where it's moving in closer and you're getting the close up of the face, and then, you know, I guess they got locked out, and then they were trying to get back in, and they didn't make it. Then they didn't make it, and then and that's fun. Then that's fun because the kids in the TT video, they knocked on the door. And then they were let inside, and then the knock at the end is not them. It's twice. It's a fun little, you know, merry-go-round kind of a thing that's going on there. That's pretty cool. This is a nice song. It's a very sweet song. It's got I think all the vocal parts were very well done. Like everyone's delivery on them is good. It's very melodic. It's a very, very melodic song. This more on melody than on rhythm, you know. But everybody does it quite well. The mix is fairly straightforward. It's got some poppy sound to it. The guitar work, like it's an electric guitar that feels mostly clean. There's maybe a very, very light distortion that's on it, but it's a mostly clean electric guitar sound, with the drums, that the percussion part, because it's very punchy. The compression is very you know, it sounds very electronic drums, and then there's some chime sounds that come in around the chorus part, and when those chimes come in, it's a little descending arpeggio, ding 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 ding, and it's very nostalgic sounding, almost gives it a little bit of a what would it be? almost like a late 70s kind of a feel, like a disco feel, because it's very bright, kind of bristly, you know. If there was synth, then it would feel almost 80s-ish. But since it's the guitar that's mostly doing a lot of the rhythm chords, once that chime comes around, remind me of some, like a slight disco touch, right? Not doesn't totally lean into that style or whatever, but it's a little bit of an overtone kind of thing. So when it started, I was like, wait, I've seen this before, like somewhere, but there's a clip of like I think the girls are maybe like randomly doing these movements. Oh no, it's from a variety show. I think it was from like Idol Room or something, and they were doing this song, like a sort of a cover, the choreo parts, and they had to do this, but like live, like in real time, so it wasn't the camera effect. They had to move, you know, real choppy and stuff. And so I was like, wait, where have I seen this before? And then I said, oh wait, I remember now.
깨끗이가 되면 닥쳐요 조금만 서둘러줄래요 난난난난 knock on my door 난난난난 knock on my door 밤이 되면 내 맘속에 주는 문이 열리죠 누군가 필요해.
So the percussion part, yeah, it's very it does sound a little bit like electronic drums. That hat hit, right? There's a and it's every other measure, right? It's in 4, boom ta boom ta boom ta boom, and then that happens, but every other measure, and it's got actually like a great feel to it. It's a nice pulsing kind of a beat. Okay, so there is synth bass. There is a synth bass. It's boom, 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 and then the guitar's sort of really rounding out the chord progression by playing the entire chord, you know, over what the bass is doing. So these shots, there's something going on with the depth in these shots. It feels like there's less space between the foreground and the background, and it's a cool effect. Actually, it's something that I know they've done before. I've seen it in a lot of music videos. And then, of course, sequence, that beginning sequence with the sort of dropped frame rate, so that things appear fast and like they're very choppy. That's because there are less frames. So you're going from, if you have more frames, then you can track something moving like and it looks smooth. But if you have less frames, you have like one here and one here and one here, so it appears like ta 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 ta, so it's choppier. But it's very cool stuff, man, as far as the cinematography. Nice rhythms in all those parts. Those chimes are there now. I hear them now. The chorus section gets really big. I think it's just the full mix coming in, you know. And the bass is 4 on the floor. The bass is hitting every beat. You're getting basically a quarter note played on the bass, and then once that really syncs up with the drums, it becomes a very like round kind of a sound. And then the guitar I hear mostly panned right. Your bass is mostly left. Chimes, I'm hearing that sound I think in the left also. There's a very nice distribution of all of the vocals though. I'm not talking about just the line distribution, but also in the mix. It's very like balanced between left and right. Got Mermaid Che, Jonghyun Pinocchio, Diane Rabbit. That was Geo, right? I think. Momo Tinkerbell. These are great shots, man. This is so good. This is nice. The little vocal ad-lib parts that are going on, I'm hearing most of that like in the right. It sounds really good, man. It's so melodic. It's very sweet. The sweetness of all of the voices is it's like the strong point, right, of this particular song. They all sound very beautiful. But I just noticed right now that the sort of ad-libs lines that are going on, it sounds really great over the as a melodic line over the rest of the song. It's a great tie-in, man. It's a great tie-in. Who left the book then? JYP left the book? Is that what he did? He's like, oh, they didn't let me in, so I'm gonna leave this book there and get him stuck in this haunted house or whatever. It's fun. It's really fun. This is actually a very streamlined song. You know, there's like a great continuity across it. There's a little there's less contrast between the sections, but it all flows so well. It's a very well written song for one. Between the composition and everything, there's not too much variation going on with the chords. You probably have a couple of different chords popping up in around the bridge section. That's how you get those wonderful melodic ad-lib lines that are going on over the top. But other than that, it's fairly straightforward. But it's a very nice, clean and balanced type of a mix, man. It sounds really good. I think the vocals are the highlight. They're like the sweetest part of this song. Everybody sounded really good. The parts were fun. You know, there were some nice rhythms. I think around the second verse, when it was Chaeyoung. I think it was Chaeyoung, Dayan, and Jonghyun. I think their parts. There were some nice like changes in the rhythms as far as the vocal parts there. And then later on towards the bridge section, those ad-lib lines were like, man, they were so good. But that was fun, man. That was fun. And this is super interesting, dude. Like, I think that's the only, at least from what I've seen, I think that's the only sort of direct link, like concept-wise, between a couple of the songs, you know. Maybe there's some, I know there's a looser sort of theme similarities or whatever in some things. But I think this is the first real direct, like this video is connected to the other video kind of a thing. At least in the visual presentation of it, the sort of concepts of the videos. But it's nice. It's so sweet, man. It's so sweet. And TT is such a fun song. So these two things together, like these two songs together, that's actually a really cool combination. You know what I mean? It has a different feel, you know. It's much more consonant. You got different production and composition on this one from TT, even though the songs are connected. Like this one is not Black Eyed Pilsung, right? And you can tell really just by the difference in the instrument voicings that are used, right? The only synth sound, well, apart from the chimes, those are probably some sort of synth, some sort of plugin. But the bass part, that was, I think, the only real, like, completely synth part. You know, depending on what kind of kit sounds were used for the drums. But then you have a much more, like the guitar sound, because it's cleaner, right? Because it kind of it stays to a fairly simple rhythm part. It's kind of warm, you know, between the compression, the compressed and kind of punchy drum sound, and the pulsing sort of bass that's just 4 on the floor and constant. Once you add that guitar sound and then those chimes and the vocals, those parts really bring a lot of warmth to the overall song. But it's really nice, man. I think for me personally, the two sweetest songs are Candy and then this one, and then Knock Knock. But it's very, very, very nice, very, very well done as far as the vocal work. And I love the concept tie-in with TT. That's actually really fun. It's a really, really fun thing. So continuing on, just to get prepared for the concert. I hope there's a nice balance between, you know, new stuff, older stuff, A side, B side, subunit stuff. I mean, you know, I'm down for it. You know what I mean? Like, let's get Nayeon to do pop or something, you know, which is another song I got to do also. I better make sure to do these. Okay, so Nayeon, let's see, Misamo. Let's get it all, man. Like, I hope we get a little bit of everything on the at the concert, you know. I think that's gonna be really, really fun. So continuing on, Twice, Knock Knock, a very, very sweet song with great composition, you know. The vocals are all very, very sweet. It's the highlight of it. The sweetness all comes through in the voices. And so I'm gonna have to actually get the lyrics, you know, because I don't think that they were There was no subtitles available for this one or for TT. But a great song. Love the tie into the other song. Love the two songs together, these two concepts and the connection between them. This is very, very fun. A fun little treat from Twice. That is very cool.